So, can we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening and welcome, everyone. Today we have with us Advocate Vatsalya Srivastava, Sir, a distinguished practicing lawyer at the Lucknow bench of the Allahabad High Court. He brings expertise in criminal laws, civil laws, and RERA. With a strong presence in the legal fraternity, he provides astute counsel and representation to his clients, navigating complex legal landscapes with precision and dedication. Over to you, sir.
Hello, hi. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So today, as I have been told that this is the first class of this course, so like many of you have joined, I'm seeing like more than 48, not 48, there are around like close to 53 students. That's really amazing. So are you guys excited for the for this course basically?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so just like for the time being, I just wanted to know the what are you guys like doing? Are you guys like practicing or you guys like are into colleges only?
No students, sir.
Sir, college
So
students.
okay, you are college students. Okay, in may I know in which year you guys are?
Sir,
Sorry,
I'm
sir.
fourth year.
Which year you are
Second
like
year, sir.
second
Fourth
year
year.
students? So fourth year students are also nice. Nice.
Second year,
Second year.
sir.
Alright, that is amazing. You are. This is like the perfect time to start this legal drafting because as I've seen myself also when I was taking up the college, then I've also seen that like this is the only subject that is being neglected a lot by the law schools. Even if you are like studying from the most premier like the Nalsar and LSIU, there also, and even if you are like studying from Gorakhpur University or like very small Lucknow, not Lucknow University, but small law colleges, and also this course, specifically this legal drafting course is being neglected a lot. So, if you are like currently in your second years or third years and fourth years, I think this is the perfect time to start this. And I think this course, and I think as a faculty myself, I will be able to do justice to this course. I think so. As this is the first class, so I'll take up basics of legal drafting. I'll tell you like the itinerary. How will I proceed with the course? I have a PPT. I'll share that PPT as well with you guys, and I'll screen share it as well, and start this basically a legal drafting course. Then after I've finished, I'll take up this course for around 35 to 40 minutes. After I'm finished, I'll open this session will be open for question and answers. If you guys, all of you have any kind of doubts, or like more than 60 students are right now in the class. So if any one of you have any doubts, you can ask me. I'll even share my number, personal number on the WhatsApp. If anything related to the course you're not able to ask, like right now, because of some, because you're not confident enough or you're not, able to ask the questions, then even you can drop the message on the chat box here as well. Otherwise, you can, even WhatsApp me on, like on my WhatsApp. Okay, so basics, legal drafting. Before starting this course, I think every one of you are entitled to note like me, who I am. Like, do I have the credentials to teach you as such? So I'll tell basic things about me, very brief. That I've been a like she gave me a very good introduction. I thank her for that. I've been an advocate of the Lucknow bench of the Allahabad High Court. I've been practicing there, and I've been also I consider myself as a student of law, as a practitioner of procedural and substantive law. I also consider myself like each one of us as a student, and I major niche areas that I practice are civil laws. I take up criminal matters as well, family matters, some of them, and like half of the matters are service matters only that I take up. So these are the matters that I take up. Then I have formerly I've been associated with a lot of government institutions such as the Uttar Pradesh State Law Commission. I was in my during like a year back I was with them working with them in a specific project. I've been also associated with the National Human Rights Commission and with the Judicial Training and Research Institution (JTRI). I've been also associated with them as well. So these are my like some of the credentials of mine, and I also am an avid student of maritime law as well, and I hold esteemed membership of the international commercial arbitration membership as well. So these are my credentials. So now let's just start with the basics. I'll not teach you. I'll not go in a very like deep aspect of drafting. I'll take with a very layman language. I'll start drafting as I know you guys are from second year, third year, fourth year. So I'm not expecting you guys to do anything. I just want you to listen to me, what I'm trying to say. And like let's keep this class bit instinctive, and let's just make it a bit interesting. So I want you guys to participate in this class to take up the questions, to ask any doubt if you have any doubt that if you think that I have not given enough clarity on that thing, then you can straight away ask me if you want in the middle of this lecture and as well, but in the later part as well. Okay. So let's just start what drafting is. And before that, let me like as this is the first lecture, so I'll basically tell you what this course entails. I'll just take up 3-4 minutes and I'll start with the lecture. Okay, so this course is related to the advanced legal drafting course. This is the fourth edition of it that we are having. We as institution into legal world, we are having this fourth edition of this course. This has been one of the most successful courses that are there presently in India for students related to drafting, and this is the fourth edition of it. I have been a faculty in the last two editions as well. So the faculties that I and other colleagues that I have, they are really good in this field. They'll teach you a lot of nice things, and basically around 10 to 12 classes you guys will have. I don't know the exact aspect, but basically 9 to 10 classes you guys all will have, and 4 to 5 classes a week. The timings will be same as of today. They'll start at 8 and they'll like come to an end around 9 as such. But we can take up the class later also if there are some doubts, some important things. Okay. So the timings will considerably be remaining the same only. Okay. And in case there will be a change, then you will be informed in the whatever the WhatsApp groups and all that you guys have, or via mail you will be informed. Then the recording of the class will also be available in a day or two, and you can access the recording as well. But I insist and I'll tell you guys to actually listen to the class live classes, because they are like more interesting. You'll have more comprehensive understanding of the things that are being taught, and if you listen, you'll have a live class, then you will also have a schedule to attend it. And once you'll have a schedule to attend it, it will be beneficial to you as well. Because if you'll keep on postponing the lectures, and that you'll think that you'll do it today or tomorrow, then I don't think so. It will have a lot of benefit for you. So according to me, if you take my suggestion, I'll tell you to take up the classes regularly in the specified time and attend the classes in the live classes only. Recording is for those people in case of emergency. If you're not able to attend them, then you can have a recording as such if you want. But in all other cases, I think you guys should have the class in the live mode only. Okay. So yes, let's just start with the drafting. Let's start with the interesting thing, that is drafting. I think it will be. I'll teach you in a very layman terms. I'll not throw many legal terms, jargons as such with you. So if any one of you wants to, indulge and tell me that what drafting is before I'll tell you what drafting is. Basically, if anyone wants to take up the cause and want to explain us all what drafting is. Oh, so many students, and like more than 68 students, are not even one. You guys are in fourth years, yeah. I think There's been enough time. You must have known what drafting. Just tell me what drafting basically is. What do you understand by drafting? Anyone? I don't think anyone is. Okay, okay. So basically, what drafting is, in my eyes, if you ask me, I consider drafting as the backbone of legal education, at the backbone of the legal profession. Because in order to become good lawyers, good judges, in order to do anything in the legal field, anything. If I'll tell you that in order to become even a steno, or even a what we call him, like the people who work for the advocates, in order to become a munshi, for them, they also know, they also basically understand what drafting is. So drafting is actually the backbone of the legal profession. If I tell you very honestly, it is the backbone of the legal profession. And it actually what it does, what it is, I'll tell you. But before that, can any one of you, tell me why it is done? This is the major question. I want you to focus on the why aspect of drafting. Is anyone willing to share this with us?
So drafting is done to
Yes.
present the content or the pleading before the
Hmm.
competent authority in a written communication.
Okay.
So this
Yeah,
is
you are.
required.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Yes.
required so that the petitioner or the aggrieved party be able to
Hmm.
present his facts. So that is the reason. This is the mode, or this is a way of communicating to the court what is the
Okay.
pleading or what is the issue the aggrieved party has.
Okay. You are
Sir,
absolutely. Yes. Yes. Please. Yes.
sir, drafting is a tool to prevent wasting time of the courts, as it
Hmm.
directly lays down the rights, liabilities, and what are
Yes.
the statutory matters involved in it. So it essentially it prevents from wasting time.
Okay. Okay. Right. Absolutely right. I think you guys, both of you are absolutely right. You are using the.
So
You are telling the
drafting
legal
is an
definition of it.
art.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
So it's an art to create a legal document.
It's an art. Art is a very big word that you. Okay. Yeah. But it is absolutely an art. Yeah. Yeah. It is an art. Yes.
Hello.
Please.
Drafting
Hmm.
is the act of writing of documents.
Act of writing of documents. Right. Absolutely. The act is also a big word. Huh? But yeah, you guys, all of you are right. All of you are correct. All of you are literally, you have like all four of you have given the exact appropriate, or not all of you, they have like comprehending all four of the points that you have told us. It is the perfect and the most apt definition of drafting. But why it is done? Just tell me the why of it. Why this drafting is done? Why not, we just write something in a simple blank paper? When whatever problem we have, why not we give it to the court? Why not we do it like that? Why there is a specific drafts, and why drafting is done?
Sir,
You
So
understanding
this
what I'm
is
trying to ask?
it's
It
a
it bi-
lang-
it binds parties legally, sir,
It
sir,
binds the
because it
parties
will be
legally.
given on the
Okay.
affidavit.
sir, it is done to
Okay,
maintain the
affidavit will be given, right, sir? That's the reason.
court.
Yes.
Sir, it is done to maintain the dignity and decorum of the court.
Okay. Dignity and decorum of the court. Okay.
Moreover, the court follows a formal procedure. So, to follow that formal procedure, you
Hmm.
need formal documents, and for that, drafting is important.
Hmm. Hmm. Like somewhat, you got very near to the exact aim of drafting. You got Anya, right? You got very near to the exact aim. Yeah. Anyone else you want to like
Yeah, so it
participate?
is, hello?
Yes.
Yeah, so it is
Yes. Yes. Yes.
legal language in which
Hmm.
one can put forward, the lawyer puts forward the prayer of the petitioner and state
Okay.
exactly what he wants, or he or she would want.
Okay.
And it is
Okay.
done in order to save the, as somebody earlier said, to save the time, in
Okay.
keeping in mind the decorum and dignity of the court.
Okay. Okay. Right. All you are like, I think you guys know quite a bit about everything. That's really good. See, the basic aim. If I'll tell you the from the yes, someone say something.
So can we say that it provides us with the
Hmm. Uh, Sorry, your voice is not audible. Provide us with. I think there is some network error. Okay. So yes, the basic singular aim that I'll tell you that I've noticed while practicing. This is the basic singular aim why drafting is done. See, I'll tell you in a very layman language this thing. What happens is, when in front of a judge, like someone told that it binds the parties. Okay, so keep this thing in mind. Then I'll tell you what happens is, like, consider yourself a judge. Okay, consider all of you consider yourself as a judge. You are sitting in a court of law. Okay, in every day, you'll see, you'll go through more than 100 cases, more than 100 cases. You'll go through. All the files will come one by one to your courts. The advocates, the practitioners, they'll come. The client, they'll come. The I think every one of you must have have some kind of experience in the courts, some kind of internship you guys must have done. So what happens? What will happen if consider yourself as a judge? Consider yourself that you're sitting in a judge and you're sitting on a podium, and like random people, they are coming and they are handing a note to you, simple note. So in some note it's written that this is my contract with them. Yeah, the both of the parties have signed it. Another note they have written the writ of habeas corpus. They have written that this thing, she must be released or he must be released. That's it. Why this is not done is what, because the singular reason is, when a judge is sitting on the dais, there are more than 100 cases that he has to go through every day. More than 100 cases. The basic aspect is, everything is done in a singular format. There is a different draft for everything. There is a different specific draft of writ. In that draft, you will have specific columns. First of all, you will have an index. In index, it will be written that where are the, what are the cause of actions. It will be written what are the prayer of the party, whatever, everything of the parties. When you start practicing the code, you'll see when a file comes in front of the file could have been more than 200, 300 pages long, but he does not see anything. He'll turn over to the prayer. He'll turn over to the page of the prayer. He'll see your prayers. If you have 4, 5 grounds you have mentioned, that because of this, I want this, relief. Because of this, I want this relief. He'll just see the prayer. He'll take up the case. He'll listen to the practitioners. He'll listen to both of the lawyers, and then he'll give the judgment. Because in order to create a specific draft for everything, a specific draft in a specific way, how it is written, in what language it is written, in what font it is written, why index will be in the first page, why after index you have cause of action, why after cause of action you have relief, and why at the end you have wakalatnama, why in the wakalatnama to the parties they have signed it, why the reliefs they are in point formats, why it is not in the paragraphs. These are the basic aspects. These are basic things. The singular reason why drafting is done, why for every specific legal nuance, every specific legal, if you take up writs, take up contracts, any kind of drafts, even the draft of NI Act, even the family codes, any kind of draft, divorce proceeding, there will be a specific draft for specific things. The drafts will depend from state to state. The draft may vary from court to court. In civil courts, basically the where I practice in Lucknow, we have Hindi as a language, primary language, so drafting is done in Hindi. But in high courts, the drafting is done in English. But the specifics of drafting, when I'll start the basic specifics, when I'll start teaching you, civil draft, criminal draft, so whoever will take these classes, they'll tell you specifics of the draft. They'll be like, I'll tell you, they'll be like everywhere, they'll be present everywhere. Maybe the format will be different, maybe the font will be different, but whatever those specific aspects, those specific essentials, what you guys say in the normal language, essentials, they'll be present everywhere. So this is the basic purpose of draft, is to have a singular format for everything. And in order to make the document legally binding, and for a judge to understand things properly, this is what the basic aspect of drafting is. Okay, so if I'll tell you, let me ask you that if I'll tell you that you have started drafting way back, like way back when you were not even mature enough, you could not even think of getting in the legal field, you have started drafting from that. I think every one of you must have in like in the class of 6th, 7th class, you must have have this formal informal application type of things. You know, जो होता था पत्र लेखन, the kind of things that used to have it happen. These are also drafts. They were drafts. You were told specifically to write what where. You were told to specifically write to. Then you have to put a comma. Then you have to write the principal. Then comma again. Then you have to write the name of the school. Then you have the address of the school. Then after that you have to leave a line. Then you have to write subject, and after subject, you write respected ma'am. Then you write whole of the patra, whole of the letter you have. Then There is a specific format. You write it your sincerely in the right, left side or the right side, whatever it is. That was also drafting. This is also drafting. But the difference between that drafting and this drafting is that this drafting basically binds the parties. This drafting is actually what helps in the court of law, what actually how the cases are taken up, how the relief is sought. This is the basic difference of it all. So you guys no drafting. You have started drafting, but not legal drafting, I'll say. But yeah, you are well versed with these things. Let me tell you, no law school in the world. I've already told you that no law school in the world teaches legal drafting in the way that it should be taught. No law school in the world teaches legal drafting. They'll take up this legal drafting and conveyance course in the later part of your law school in the the end of the fourth year or the beginning of the fifth years, and they'll like teach you certain drafts. You'll have a exam for it, and then you can they'll tell you that you have done the drafting class. I think that is rubbish. It's like it's nowhere near what legal drafting actually is. It's nowhere near it. This is, I think, if you ask me, this is the basic problem of the Indian legal education system is that they don't emphasize where the emphasis is needed. They don't really emphasize the where the emphasis is needed, really needed. Because when a student of law he does his LLB or BLLB or whatever he does is, then the basic profession he gets into. Why this is known as a professional degree is because the basic profession he can start from day one is the profession of practicing in a court, profession of becoming an advocate, because practicing. And you don't even teach the basics of to get into the profession because the drafting is, as I've told you, the backbone of legal profession. So this is the I don't know why the council it is not even the bar it is not even taking up this measure of inculcating this legal drafting course. I think this course should be in every semester, not even every year. I think this course should be in every semester. And I as I was working with the law commission, it was my I gave him it was like kind of my opinion. I kind of gave them this thing that I think this amendment must be done in the curriculum of the law schools, that legal drafting must be taught as a important subject. But I don't think it has been implemented still. But as those time it is done, and right now I've been practicing in the bar, so I am taking up this task again with the bar, with my Awadh Bar Association that we have in the Lucknow High Court. Given them this proposal, and I'm rooting for the cause of establishing a dedicated drafting wing in the High Court for the young and budding lawyers who are coming in the field each and every day. So this free of cost course, and I'm in a way of having this course in my bar, but I don't know. Maybe it will happen this year, maybe next year, but I think this is the most important aspect of drafting is, and this is the most important thing because if I tell you in a very practical way, when I started teaching, when I started not teaching, when I started practicing in a court, there was a one important thing that remember every time. My own senior at that time, my own senior, respected senior advocate Anup Singh, he actually taught me this. He actually told me this that once there was a election going on in the High Court. So I asked him very casually that, sir, why people like fight these elections of the High Court? Why they become a member, honorary member, secretary, and bar, everything. He kept his hand on the file. He told me, see, the kind of people who are not able to make name with these files, they try up these things. They try up to make the name for themselves by fighting, elections in the High Court. So what basically is the reality I'm telling you? The basic reality is that if you take up an example, like if I tell you that in my High Court, in the parent High Court, Allahabad High Court, where I practice, in the Lucknow bench, consider there are 100 advocates. This is the ground reality I'm telling you. Not every one of you, not many people, they'll tell you. This is the ground, what the ground reality actually is. 50% of the High Court lawyers, they know how to speak. They know how to plead in the court of the law. And there is 40% of advocates, they don't know how to plead, but they know how to draft. So basically, there is a lot of disparity. Most of advocates, they know how to speak, but they don't know how to draft. Some of the advocates who know how to draft, they don't know how to speak. But there are, niche 5 to 10 advocates, not 5 to 10 advocates, yeah, 5 to 10 around in terms of those 100 advocates. Like in Allahabad High Court, in the bench where I practice, there are around like 200 advocates who have knowledge of both drafting as well as pleading. Those are the advocates that are the future of legal profession. Those are the advocates. Those 200 advocates are the advocates who have a good, they will have a good future in this profession, because without drafting, you are nothing. Without pleading, you are nothing. But once you'll understand, you'll have a mastery of both these things, of drafting as well as pleading. That's when you'll become a complete advocate. That's when, you can think of, becoming a good advocate. That's when you'll have a sound understanding of the laws. So that is why I'll tell you, and see, drafting, this is not something that I can teach you. And this is not a course. This is not a classroom that I can teach you. I can tell you how to start. I can tell you what are the drafts. I can tell you should do this, do that. I can give you a blueprint of the things. But unless and until you start doing it yourself, unless and until drafting some, I don't remember the name of the girl. She told me it is an art. It is true, it is an art, but it is a skill. It is what it is. It is a basic skill that is developed over the time. You cannot become a great drafter from the day one. You cannot, start like coming. You started coming to the court and like you're the best drafter here. You can't. This is something you can't achieve. It will. What will happen is from day to day by day, there will something you'll grasp. There are other things you'll grasp, and then maybe after 10 years, 20, well, maybe after 10 years, 5 years, 10 years, you'll have a good understanding, sound understanding of the law. You'll have sound understanding of the words. Then you can become a good advocate in that stage. Okay. So one, I'd like to, as I'm basically making you understand about this course, I'll try to, break some myths about drafting. A lot of, including me, if you consider me, including me, there are like a lot of people who have this, uh, what I'll say, this is a basic, element in their minds that drafting is, for drafting, you'll have to have a good grammatical, grammar. Your grammar must be amazing enough to become a good legal drafter. I think this is the most bullshit statement I've ever heard. In legal drafting, you have to have basic words, basic English words, precise language that is done. Legal drafting is done in very basic, precise language. You don't use words from Shashi Tharoor's dictionary to basically do legal drafting, because for judges also, they are also human beings. They are also, simple humans. They don't want very complex words in these drafts. So you must have basic understanding of grammar. I think each and every one of you who have joined this course, they must have basic understanding of grammar. You must have been taught grammar in your schools. You must have a basic sound understanding of English language. And as I am also saying, in conversing in English only, so you must have all have the sound understanding of basic English language. You must know the importance of colons, semicolons, importance of commas, full stops, importance of words like and, or, importance of capital letters. I think if you have basic understanding of this, if you have basic understanding of English language, then all of you, all of us, including like everyone who's thinking about becoming a legal advocate, anyone who's, in the first minutes, I have told you that if anyone wants to stay in the field of legal profession, then legal drafting is one of the most important skills. I'll tell you, you won't believe me. This is the only skill that will, help you earn money in the beginning of the career. This is the only skill that will make you, you know, earn some money in the very beginning of your career. So legal drafting is a very important skill. And one more thing, I want to tell you that 99.99% of the lawyers will not teach you legal drafting. They won't teach you this. You will have to understand it day by day. You will have to understand this is a kind of skill, how we should do self study. This is the kind of skill that you'll have to understand by your own self. By, see, what I used to do is, whenever I started practicing in the court when I was a senior, working with a senior, what he used to do is, he used to give me the facts of the case. He used to tell me to go and draft. He used to give me a specific draft of things, and he told me you start go drafting. I used to go home, and in the night I used to sit and I used to start drafting. What you guys can do, you guys can also take up these things. Most of you guys advocates, will dictate you. You will have to take up your laptops. They'll start dictating you. This is you won't learn drafting in this way. What you have to do is you should go home, take up the points in your mind, and start drafting by yourself. This is how you'll understand the basic skills of drafting. Okay. Another, I think the another bad, not the bad thing. Another, mind that people have. Another thing that they have, people have in their mind is that in order to become a good legal drafter, you have to have sound understanding of every law. This is also completely bullshit. You should not believe. This is a kind of myth that a lot of people have, that in order to become a good legal drafter, you will have to have a sound understanding of all the laws. No, basic laws you have to have sound understanding, basic provisions of the laws you have to have sound understanding, and you have to have the books, you have to have the bare acts of the laws. If you three things you have, you can become a good legal drafter. Believe me, with time, you'll understand that you can become a good uh, legal drafter as such. Because all of us, we cannot be associated with a senior for a long time. You have to earn money. You take up your own independent practice. So these things are the things that I am telling you to focus on in the very early, in the starting of your career, because not a lot of students do. Please don't take up the cause of elections. Don't do all this shit in the high court. Don't do all the hawabazi there. If you want to become a good dedicated advocate, you want to become a name, you have to make a name for yourself. Not right now, after graduating, and you have to, because right now I've been very much concerned with the judgment of the 3 years practice that the Supreme Court they have stated. And I think if you look at from my eyes, I have been also a judiciary aspirant. I've been preparing for it for a long time, and but still, I think the what the conscience of the Supreme Court was, it was absolutely right. The conscience of the Supreme Court is so. As I think every one of us, if you're not going into corporate sector, you will have to one day or the other you have to come to the courts only. So it is better to have a understanding of basic legal drafting, and I've told you a lot about it. And I think let's just start with the basic PPTs and all that I'll share with you guys. Okay, and I'm sharing my screen. I've told you the basic aspects of legal drafting. I've told you that I think whatever I've covered, I've done. And the rest of it, I think, will be covered by the PPT. Okay, so let me just share the PPT with you guys. Let me just share the PPT here. This is the PPT that exact PPT that is being. I think is it visible to you guys? The PPT.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. 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 Before the PPT, I also have one photo. Yeah. See this. Whatever I've told you. Why this is? Just cut it. Am I audible, right? And visible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. Perfect. So this paragraph is the basic thing what I want you guys to understand. Legal drafting is the process of creating precise, clear, and legally binding documents. Please, I want you guys to have a, is the screen visible, right?
Yes,
yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
visible.
Okay, 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 perfect, perfect. I want you guys to emphasize on each and every word. Legal drafting, it is a process of creating precise. I told you, precise is a word you cannot, legal drafting, it is not a essay. You cannot keep writing facts of 200 pages long. You can't do this. Whenever you have to understand, whenever you have to do a legal drafting, have you must write whatever you want in very precise, clear terms. You cannot make write in ambiguous terms. You have to write very precisely in very as short as possible. You have to write. You have to like draft a specific legal document. Okay. So it is a process of creating precise, legal, clear, and legally binding documents. Legally binding documents, I think all of you must be aware in some way or another, that establishes rights, obligation, and relationship between parties. Please emphasis on all of the words that establishes. What legal drafting aims to attain is that it aims to establish a kind of legal rights and obligation between the court and you. If one of the parties is the court, if you are filing a criminal case, then it is against the state. So it is basically establishing your rights against the state. So this legally binding document establishes your rights and obligation and relationship between parties. If it is a contract, then it will be between parties. If it is with the state, then your relationship is with the state. Okay. What this involves transforming complex legal principles into understandable languages. See, when what basically legal drafting does is a client will come to you. He'll have zero knowledge of the law. What he'll have is a situation. He'll give you a situation. He'll give you a certain, certain situation, certain condition that he wants this draft to be in a certain specific way. So from that situation, with the legal knowledge, with the sound legal knowledge that you have, then integrating the sound legal knowledge with the situation, you have to create a draft. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? You have to integrate that situation, the the situation the client has, the tailored situation that the client is in. You have to integrate that situation. It will depend from client to client. It will basically depend from client to client according to his tailored needs. You have to prepare a specific draft, but you have to inculcate your legal like the complex understanding, the sound understanding of law. You have to inculcate with that. Then you have to create a law. Okay. This involves transforming complex legal principles into understandable languages for documents like contracts, deeds, wills, and court pleadings. I think all of you must have known what contracts are, what deeds are. Deeds are basically, family. In family law, you'll understand these are the basic documents. What wills are also related to family law only. And
Yes, sir.
court pleadings also, I think you guys understand. Then effective legal drafting requires understanding client needs. See, emphasis on this thing that every legal drafting will vary. I've told you it will vary from state to state, from city to city. From see, if there is a client, he has explained a situation to you, okay, then that situation, what recourse he is granting from it, what kind of relief he is demanding from that situation. According to that relief, you have to draft a legal document. These things, maybe these things are not right now clear to you, but in the due course of the course of this course, these things will starting you'll have sound clarity on these things, that a legal draft is basically the tailored needs of the client. It is basically a tailored needs, whatever the client wants, you have to make a legal draft according to his wishes. Okay. Effective legal drafting requires understanding client needs, relevant laws. I told you, you have to have a basic sound understanding of laws. Not like you have to not prepare everything, it is not important for you to know everything, but yeah, you must have a sound understanding. What is there in the law? What basically principles are there? What provisions are there? What are the procedures? These are some of the things that you must keep in your mind while drafting. Okay. What it is done? It is done to prevent ambiguity and disputes. See, once a draft is created, once it is signed by the parties, then it is very clear. It is precise and clear. You cannot have any ambiguity in that. And in case a dispute arises, you can say that these are the clear terms and conditions that we both have. We both have agreed at that time. But right now, the dispute is occurring. So, in order to prevent those ambiguities and disputes, this legal drafting is done. Ensuring the final document is enforceable. See, if someone told me that it binds the party, what legal drafting does, it basically makes the document enforceable in the court of law and align the legal standards and the parties' intentions. It aligns the parties. I've told you both the parties, they must have had intention. It aligns with their intentions and legal standards of the law that we have in our country. So I think this basic paragraph is what drafting is. It contains the aims of drafting. It contains why drafting is done. It contains drafting why it is important. It actually gives the essentials of drafting as well. It also tells us that how it is done in clear, clear, precise language. This is this basic the thing that I want you guys to understand. Right now, then let's start with the basic PPT that I have for you guys. Okay, this is the basics. This is a very starting beginning class. Don't worry. This is the basics legal and legal drafting class. We will specific drafting of contract, criminal, civil, family. These things will be taken up in the later classes. Don't worry. This is the basic PPT of the basic legal drafting. This I'm telling you the very basics. Okay. The why the learning of legal drafting is important. I've actually told you earlier without the PPT also. As I was explaining you, it is a core skill of every lawyer. I think you guys must have. This is the thing that I've told you like 4 5 times in the past 40 minutes, that it is a very core skill, it's a backbone of Indian legal profession, drafting. It ensures clarity, precision, and enforceability in the domain. It ensures that clarity. It reduces ambiguity and litigation risks. This is also something I've told you. It builds professional credibility. I think this is very simple thing you guys understand. What it builds is professional credibility. If a lawyer, he has prepared a specific draft, then he is credible. He has a professional credibility to make that draft. So it builds that professional credibility. If the lawyers who are more and more experienced, they'll do the drafting in a specific format. They'll do it in a specific way. So this basically increases the credibility of that person. It bridges legal knowledge with practical application. I've told you that this is a bridge. You act as a bridge between your client and the relief that he's asking from the court. That is why legal drafting lawyers are important. Right now I'm seeing this trend. A lot of I'm seeing that a lot of people They don't know the ifs and buts, and they started, they have Chat GPT and Perplexity AI and all DeepSeek AI they have in their phones, and they, type like, give me a legal draft of rent agreement, give me a legal draft of this, legal draft of that. See, this is this is something that will never happen. AI will never ever, believe me, will never ever be able to take up in any way the legal profession. Will never be able to take up. Believe me if I'm telling you this. That AI it may take up the BTech. It may take up the jobs of BPOs. It may take up jobs of they take a corporate sector, but never, it will never take up the jobs of lawyers and job of judges, because judges job, it depends a lot on humanitarian grounds, a lot on the emotions that he has. It depends upon a lot of that. And the job of lawyers, it also depends upon emotions. I don't think you must have, I don't I think that you must have all understanding of the case of Keshan on the Bharti case. That case is actually built up upon the emotions, how uh, most respected Nani Palkewala, how he emotionally, how he, gave up the arguments, how he, turned the, the arguments, way the arguments they are done. How, but no, these are emotional things. No, in any way, no robot or no AI will ever be able to, integrate with this profession. Okay. So what it basically does, coming back to what I was saying, I actually was telling you this. It bridges the legal knowledge with practical application. I think I've already told you this. The basics of legal drafting. This is very simple. It actually clarity. It uses simple and ambiguous languages. I told you, you don't have to have a, just a second. I'll drink some water. Just a second. Ah. So yes, it gives you the clarity. It uses the simple and unambiguous languages. You don't have to have a you have to have a big renowned English scholar in order to drafting. That is a myth. You guys should not believe it. Precision, but this is very important. Every word is important in a draft. Every word, starting from or, and, commas, the, all these words, they have a specific importance in legal draft. So precision is very, very important. And this thing you will later on you'll understand all these things. Consistency. This is important. You have to avoid contradictions. In the beginning of the draft, you cannot say that I am asking this relief, and at the end you say that I am asking for another relief. No, that is not how it is done. If you are demanding a relief for, in the case of habeas corpus, if you are demanding a relief for, in order for your client to appear in the court, if he is, imprisoned unnecessarily, imprisoned without the law, then you, in the facts of the case, you cannot tell about some other story of when, you went to watch a movie. That should not happen. It avoids contradiction. If you are asking, if you are demanding for a relief of habeas corpus, for a relief of him to be, for him to be, come out of a unnecessary legal cause, if he is jailed unnecessarily, then you have to specifically give the grounds why he is, why he is jailed, why, what is the basic understanding why the police officer they, arrested him. So there is a flow of clauses. See, there is a flow of contradiction. You cannot. Sorry, there is a flow of things. You should avoid contradiction. There is actually a logical flow of clauses as well. This is the next point I'm coming back. I think it is clear that you have to avoid contradiction in a legal draft. Then see the logical flow of clauses. See, next thing I want to understand is that always keep in mind this thing. Always keep in mind, if you have a diary, note this thing, that every draft it is done in points. Never, in no way you do it in paragraphs. In no way you do that. You have to do it in points. Either it is numbered or it is in A, B, C, Ds. But every drafting, from spreads to bail applications to, whatever it is, to service law, whatever, we file the applications for, exemption applications or substitution applications, or, even the of the family, in the family court we do the cases and all. In everything it is done in points. Never it is done in paragraphs. Please don't do this. I don't know. I can any one of you tell me why it is done in points? Why not in paragraphs? Basically, you just use a common sense and tell me why I'm telling you to do the legal drafting in points and why not in paragraphs.
Maybe
Anyone?
because it is very easy to see points, sir. rather than paragraph.
So it is easier to
Uh,
read
okay.
and find the basics to understand
Okay.
and to do the skimming while reading it.
Yes, the last point that you told us, skimming is important. Yeah. Yes, please,
So
please.
points
Hmm.
are very short and paragraphs need to be longer to be understood.
Okay. Uh, Anyone else?
So it would be easy to understand the allegations.
Arey, so what easy will be in paragraphs also, no? Why paragraphs are also the same thing? Why it is done is specifically in point.
So, as it's stated in the your PPT, it should be precise. It's precisely put. That's why in points.
Hmm.
Or maybe
Uh,
it is easy to refer to the points, like
right.
when the judge will
Bang on.
like
Bang on. That is the perfect thing. It is easy to refer back the points. You know, when you stand in front of the court, it will be very easy to tell a judge that, my lord, please refer to point number 11, please refer to point number 12, or please refer to point number C. This is why it is done. This is the basic thing why drafting is done in points, not paragraphs. Because what will you tell a judge? To please take up the paragraph uh, 4, and you're not mentioned anything. And how will a judge find the paragraph? You have to skim through pages a lot. That is why it is done in points, so that a judge he can just refer back. I told you the very first thing, legal drafting is done to make the cause of judges, to make the cause of justice easier. This is what the basic aim of legal drafting is. This is the points is in line with that aim. You have to make the task of a judge easier. You cannot make his task difficult. You cannot make him read the whole thing. You have to tell him, sir, please refer to please refer to page number X and point and find the third paragraph. He'll have to count the paragraph. Nobody does that. You have to make.
also
Yes.
sir,
Someone is
also
saying.
it will help in framing of issues. Moreover, in framing, sir, it will help the judge in framing of issues as well.
Somewhat, yeah, could be a reason. Yeah, fine, it could be a reason. And another thing,
Secondly,
yes, hmm,
secondly, while drafting the written statement as well, we have to answer it
hmm,
in pointers.
yes,
So,
you have
if you
to,
have to object it, then we have to write it. Para number one of the
hmm, yes,
plaint is this, and there are if we have to get the
absolutely right,
preliminary sections and all, we have to mention the para number one, two, and three, so that it
yes,
could be very precise to be seen by the other party as well.
absolutely. One of the yes, could be one of the reasons. It's absolutely true that when in a plane you have to, yes, someone is saying something. No. Okay. So yes, what you were telling, it's right that when you have to have a reply to the plaint, you do a written statement. Written statement, you write that for point paragraph one, I do this. For paragraph two, my statements are this. Point three, my statement is this. But the basic cause is to make the life of the judges simpler. We as lawyers, we are a binding instrument. We are, a bridge, as I've earlier told you. That is why we do it in points. The second important thing, all of you, what are you guys answering? These are also important, very important. But another important thing why it is done in points is that verification is a very important thing. Do you guys know what verification is? At the end of the any draft, at the end of any writ, you do the verification. In the affidavit, you do the verification. That paragraph one, two, three,
It
four, five
it
are
man
to
it
my
ma-
knowledge.
it mentions that whatever is presented is true to my knowledge and
Hmm. Yes.
nothing is deceived.
Mm. Yes, absolutely. This is what verification is. It helps if you do it in drafting in points. It will help to suggest the court that when you do the verification at the end, that verification that I verify that paragraph contents of paragraph one, two, three, four are true to my knowledge, and contents of paragraph four, five, six, eight are true on whatever the legal advice I've received from the advocate. This is what it actually makes the whatever the draft is legally binding as well upon you, that you are stating that the points number one, two, three, four are true to your knowledge, and you are claiming these points and in an affidavit, and in any case these points are found to be untrue, then you can have a legal case against you as well. The court actually, you give the mandate to the court to have a legal case against you if in case in the later on in the proceedings it is found out that whatever the points you have given in the plaint on a written statement or any kind of draft is found to be true. then you are eligible. Not eligible, then you are, a penalty could be imposed upon you. Okay. So yeah, that is why this is done in points. So okay, just come back. Yeah, we actually deviate from what are the causes. I I'm actually giving you a lot of information. I don't think you guys are writing it or not, but yeah, I'm giving you a lot of information. These things nobody will teach you these very simple basic points, that why it is done in points and why it is done and all. Okay. Legal accuracy. Then let's come to the next point: legal accuracy, conformity with statutes and precedents. I've told you that you have to have some sound understanding of the law. Not very much, but yeah, basics you must have known. Okay. Then drafting and language tools, how to structure words, pronunciation in drafting. And I told you the importance of and, importance of or, importance of comma, and why these are things are done. Very important difference between and or. I think all of you should go home. All of you should take up the bare act of whatever bare act you have, irrespective it is CRPC or BNS or any of it. Just please look, take up a lot of emphasis on these ands and ors. These are very important. Take up a lot of emphasis on these. You may not able to understand it right now, but in the future you will be able to understand these things. Okay. These are the examples, some examples of it that tenant may keep ambiguous, clear. What are the how you can write it in an ambiguous way, how you can write it in a clear way. These are another things. Okay. Drafting across subject. I've earlier told you that contract drafting is done, criminal drafting is done, civil drafting is done. These are all the different types of drafts that we'll take up in the coming classes. But yeah, it is done across subjects. It is done in criminal field as well as in the civil field. Corporate drafting is also done. The MOUs are drafted. Resolutions are there. There. In constitutional administrative drafting, I've told you about the writs. I've told you about the other charge sheet FIR complaints that are there in criminal drafting as well. So drafting it is done across a lot of domains. It is very important for you to understand what drafting is. These are some of the key takeaways. That drafting is a lawyer's most practical skill. I've told you that the in the beginning of your career, the most amount of money that you'll earn is not via pleading, but you'll done via drafting. You'll be helping other lawyers, you'll helping other senior advocates or other sub lawyers who have a bit of experience, but they don't know how to draft, and you can help them as well. Okay. Small words, I've told you to take up emphasis on the small words like and or. Punctuations. Drafting style differs across format, I've already told you. Practice and exposure, then only you can attain mastery. This is the very important thing that given the clarity to you that you cannot have this mastery of drafting sitting at your home, attending to classes and listening to guys like me. I'm telling you, you have to just go. You have to go in the field. You have to do some drafting. You have to take up the cases, read the files. Then only you'll understand the importance of drafting. Okay. I think I'm aptly clear about this drafting thing, and I think we are at the end of this uh, drafting PPT as well. Okay, so I think I've given you a lot of information today. I think you guys must have understood also a lot of things that I've told you, and I think I've told you in very basic, clear words. And I want you to emphasize on all the classes that'll be coming, on all the classes. I don't know you are. I don't know the kind of privilege that you guys have to being taught with some of the professors, some of the esteemed professors, some of the people who have had experience in this field for more than like 20, 30 years, some of the working professionals who are working in the corporate sector, some of the practicing advocates, criminal practicing advocates, advocates like me. These are the kinds of I'm not keeping myself on a pedestal. I'm not keeping myself with those people. I am not like nowhere near them. But yeah, you have got this distinguished, esteemed, uh, opportunity to learn from them. I want you as a mentor, as your mentor. I want you to tell you to use these opportunities. Ask questions, please. Just ask questions, whatever you want. You can ask questions. You can ask questions to me. I'll just after like 2 3 minutes, I'll keep the session open. Anyone, if you have any doubts, can ask me. So I want you guys to ask questions to the faculty. Okay, just whatever doubts you have, whatever things you have in your mind. In any case, you can ask questions. Keep the class interactive. Don't keep it boring. From whenever the next classes you guys will have basic drafts. Every day you'll have a different class of drafts. Basically, someday you'll have criminal, another you have credit drafting. So whoever the faculty comes, please ask a lot of questions from them. So in order to teach them as well, okay, you have to, if he does not know anything, you can teach him as well. Okay. So This is the subject. I told you drafting, no one can attain a full knowledge of it. So you have to keep yourself teaching, and you have to also, keep the class interactive. Okay. So now let's just keep the session open. I'm, I've basically, ended my whatever my today my itinerary was there to teach you guys basics I've taught you. I think it is very simple language I've taught you. So yes, any one of you have any questions, you can go ahead, ask me anything whatever you want. Okay, so yes, please, Prashant, please, yes.
Sir, I have a question that we are students as per now. So uh, as a students, how can we progress in drafting as we do not have much exposure to like everyday code things? So being
Okay,
a college student attending classes every day, the theoretical part of drafting, we want to progress in that. So how can we do that at home? As we do not get much exposure at this level, at the college level, to the codes. So what is the
I'll,
best way for us?
I'll tell you the best way. See, what you can do is, I think all of you I'm not endorsing anything, but you all must know Indian Common. It is a free of cost website. It's there on Google. Just, take up some criminal cases. Just search for it. Any case, you can take up the criminal cases. Even if you want to learn drafting, I'll give you a book. I have a PDF for it. My esteemed my faculty when I was, in the university, he was teaching. He is himself a renowned author. He has taught this subject, and including this subject, he is also a author of constitutional law book. I'll share the book with you. There are a lot of drafting you can learn. Specific subjects are mentioned in that book. You can take up those subjects. You can, there are specific instances that are there, live instances. You can, take them and start drafting as such. I am not sure that how can you can refer it as your students. You can, give the drafts to your fellow friends or to the faculty. They can, if they have the kind of legal understanding, they can, judge upon it and tell you about the mistakes that you have made. But as of now, please focus on the substantive part of the law, procedural part of the law, and in between, when you have, I think all of you, we are all under the UGC mandates. You'll get a time for internships. I think you'll also do it certain a month, in every year, get a month to well. At that this skill, at that time, you can polish the skill. But not in that case, you can start reading up some judgment, start reading up some cases, and from that case, from those points, you can by yourself only, you can start drafting. You can take up some drafts. They are not readily available, but yeah, at the end of the course, I'll share you some drafts. Not me, every faculty will, whatever the case is, whatever the topic they will allotted, will come and will give you specific drafts for that. But yes, I can give you, if you want, I can give you instances for that, specific instances through which you can create drafts as such. And even if you want, while the course is going on, even after the course goes on, you can send me as well. And if I'll get a time with the night, I can send some comments to you that how you can start drafting the paper. Okay. So as of now,
Sir, I think
focus
there
on
is some
substantive
network
part.
issue. Your voice is breaking.
Oh, is it? Thanks for telling me. I think I don't think my network is fine. I think
It's
maybe it could.
better now. It's better now.
Okay, okay. So yeah, this is a way you guys can take it up if you want. I'll be there with you. Don't worry. And maybe I'll share some instances. Maybe I will share some whatever brief facts in the case. Certain cases, brief facts in certain cases, you can draft it yourself. This is a scale that you'll practically you can endorse upon it. Practically, when you start there getting the practical exposure of cases while going to the courts, then you could do that. Okay. So yes, Kriti, I'm seeing your hand is up. You can ask anything.
Sir, actually, I'm a working professional,
Okay.
so I don't get much time to attend the classes. Today, I spared
Okay.
some time so that I can watch the intro section
Hmm.
session. But how will I be able to attend the classes in offline mode?
Offline mode means you want recorded lectures, right?
Yes, sir.
Recorded.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Yeah, all of you will get a recording of this lecture and the coming lectures that we'll have in a day or two after lecture end. Like today's recording will get tomorrow by the evening tomorrow. You can watch that as well. As you are a working professional, I cannot compel you, but if you get time, then please try to attend these classes in a live mode only. But if you are not able to, then yeah, absolutely, it's perfect. You can, see the recording, you can watch the recording as such. They're also really good. So yeah, you can get the recording in a day or two after the lecture ends. Okay. Yes, Pooja is asking something. She has raised her hand.
Yes, sir. Could you suggest a book for the bare acts? Which one is good? And
Uh,
also a book where we can read and polish our skills for legal drafting.
okay. Legal drafting, I'll share you the book. Currently, I don't have that book. I have it in my laptop. I don't have it on my tab. But yes, as soon as maybe the next class I'll come, I'll send the PDF of that book to the girl, to someone who is working with the into legal work. I'll send it to her,
Okay,
and she can
thank you.
send it in the respective groups as you have. Other than that, if you have any other questions right now, you can ask me right now.
I was asking you which is the
Yes.
book that we can refer for the bare
Yeah.
act also, which is a good one.
Okay. If my views are very conflicting in these things.
Okay.
I want you to focus on bare acts of universal, not every bare act. Don't buy each and every bare acts. Please buy the bare acts of universal. They are concise, they are clear. There is no like there are. Uh, in my opinion, I have not ever found a mistake in the universal bare acts or bare acts. So if you can buy the universal ones, they are really good. They are to the point. They don't have a lot of information in them because for a bare act, you just want the bare text of the act. You don't want it to become a book. You don't want it to be become a book and there are a lot of notes and all in the bare acts. You want it
So,
to be a bare crisp text. Yes.
so does it have explanation, little bit of explanation about the acts also, like a short note kind of, because the acts are sometimes too, they have that legal jargon, and sometimes in order to understand them,
If you have a need for that, you can buy a bare act of, I think, as far as I was yesterday we were sitting in the court. Someone was telling me the taxman. They are
okay.
very good. The taxman new bare acts of the BNS, BNSS, and BSA books. The bare acts of the taxman, they are extremely good. They have the proper table tabular format of the earlier CRPC and now the new provisions of the DNSS as well. They have basic clarity of the concepts also after the comments that are there after every provision they have. So it will depend upon from need to need. If you want to cater that kind of need, you can buy that with Bear Act. But for a Bear Act, I think what the purpose it solves is it must have a lot of space, because after reading it a lot of time you will mark it a lot. You need space in the Bear Act to write certain things. So I think, in my opinion, universal. I use universal only. Major of the advocates, me, and in my law school days also, I've started using universal only. But yeah, if you want the Berak with the comments, you can use that as well. All the Beraks are somewhat the same. Somewhat the same.
Okay,
Only.
thank you so much for that, sir. Also, one more question. Is there
Yes.
any specific uh, length to which we should adopt to when we are drafting, when we are doing the drafting, the
Specific
legal draft?
length, I don't
But
understand what specific length is.
means, should we stick to any particular number of pages? Like, should it be as
No, no,
short
no,
as
no.
or long as
No, no, no.
possible?
Please. I think I have conveyed the wrong message. See, I want you guys to do crisp drafts. In
Okay.
as I'm not saying to you that it should be in a lot of less pages. It could be as long as you want. If the case is complex, you can do a drafting of 4 5, not 4 5, yeah, 200 pages draft also. I've seen some of the cases who have a lot of drafting, but it should be to the point. It should be precise and clear. It is not. There is no word limit to drafting. Whatever, if the client needs a case to be from point to point, he wants everything to be written in the case file. You have to write it according to cater his needs. You can make a draft as long as you want, but it should be precise and to the point. It should not contain unnecessary details, ambiguous details. That should not be there. But yeah, if you think it is important to be in the if certain facts or certain things, certain situations are important, then you should incorporate that in your draft. Okay, there is no specific piece. There is no specific length to it. You should not make it. Do not try to make it as like small, like as less as possible. But yeah, you should keep in the mind of the needs of the cater the needs of the clients. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. And any one of you has any other doubts? I think someone was messaged also. Let me see. Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Can we just know how many classes do we have per week and what are the timings?
As far as I have been told, you guys will have like around 10 classes for every, every subject. You'll have a class. Like for constitutional drafting, you'll have a class. For contract drafting, for criminal drafting, you'll have a specific class for every subject, as far as I've been told. And if there is, I don't know, I'm not endorsing it, but yeah, you should, if you want, you can ask that in the groups, respective groups that you have as well. Okay. So, but as far as I've been told, it's like around from 9 to 10 classes you will have in this course. And okay,
Okay, so I'm asking about weeks, like in week, how many classes will be taken?
in a week you'll have 4 to 5 classes every week. Yeah. In this week you'll have 4 to 5 classes. Next week you'll have 4 to 5 classes. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, Akshat, he has raised his hand.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to ask, after
Yes.
completion of each classes, will you guys
Mhm.
assign us some tasks to do?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. There will be tasks. There are going to be tasks. There are going to be, whatever drafting we will be taught. Some of them will be by me. Some will be from my colleagues. Whatever drafting will be there. You'll be given tasks in your groups. You have to do the class task and submit it in the Google Forms, respective Google Forms as such. If they are in the Google Forms, you have to do in the Google Forms. If not, you have to send a mail to us so that we can, check and see what are you understanding or not. Okay. So yeah, you'll have assignments after every class. Don't worry.
Yes, sir.
And Bharat,
Thank you.
what
Uh,
are you
Hi,
asking
sir.
also something?
Uh,
Hi. Yes.
I'm an engineering graduate actually, and now
Okay.
I'm navigating towards law. And counseling
Ah,
process is going
amazing.
on, and I'm yet to join law college. So,
Amazing.
can you tell how to navigate this law course? Like how to navigate law, and I'm not sure
Okay.
where to begin
Okay.
or anywhere.
Okay. See, if you see what kind of lawyer you want to become, you want to work for the corporate, or you want to become a, you go for a judiciary aspirant, or what? What are you basic? What are your prerequisites? What do you want to do after this? For pursuing this
As
course?
of now, I thought of deciding to corporate, but I'm not. I have not explored it that it.
Yes,
So
uh,
I didn't figure out
see,
till
I'll
now.
tell you to stick to the law, stick to the subjects, take
Okay.
up the important subjects. I am not going to tell you to read each and everything of constitutional law, each and everything of criminal law, each and everything of contract law, but you must have understanding of the basic provisions. Take up the
Okay.
classes very, very, very strictly. Do revisions every day, uh, but simultaneously, you have done. You're a BTech graduate, then you must be pursuing a 3 year LLB, right? Then
Yeah.
simultaneously, in the first and like half of the second year, please do some internships, do some corporate work, start preparing. After doing, as you have less time, as people who are pursuing 5 year law course, they have a lot of time. You have less time, so what you can do is you have less time to explore. So in 1.5 years, starting from the first year of your law course, please try to do each and everything that comes to you. Try to do some internships in the law field. Try to the corporate sector, if at all it is possible, you get the opportunity for it. Try to start preparing also, and try to find whichever place you find yourself to be perfectly aligned with yourself, you could perfectly align with. And then once you have found that place, once you have understood that place, and I'm telling you, 99.9, including me, I was also not sure what I wanted to do, but life has certain way of turning interesting around. So but for that, you can try to explore it in every field, and after doing it for 1.5 years, whatever you decide, please stick to that thing only, and for the remaining 1.5 years, do that thing. Become take up an area and become something, start practicing it or whatever it is. And one more thing I want you to know is to please take up one specific area, because right now a lot of law graduates are coming out. I'm seeing a lot of students, a lot of NEET aspirants, a lot of JE aspirants, a lot of them, they have started pursuing law. But I want to, how can you become different from someone who's like, law has everybody understood. So take up niche area, find your niche area. If you like in criminal law, you can take up the course as criminal lawyer. You can study that. You can give it a priority. If you want to become a civil lawyer, give that a priority. And with that priority set, you have to go forward and move in that direction. And if you want IPR, it is an emerging field to do that. In the arbitration, it is a lot of emerging field. I have told you that I have been a member in the international, commercial international council for commercial for international council for commercial arbitration. So yeah, this field is also quite emerging. Take up these fields, take up, do all the research that you can in the as early as possible, and take up certain skills and become a master of it. Then only, after practicing, after graduating, you can land a job and you can do all these things. Okay. General law, everybody knows. Please don't do that. Take up a specific field and please pursue that field only. Take a very specific field. I'm telling you, all you guys, after passing out, you regret this thing if you don't understand this right now. Please take up specific fields, whatever you're liking. Please take up. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone has any other question? Preeti, I think she is also reading her hand.
Sir,
Okay.
my question is out of the box.
Please, please,
Actually,
please. I like out of the box
uh,
question. Yeah.
sir, initially you said that Supreme Court has given a mandate that
Uh,
there must be a practice of 3 years at least in
yes.
order to
Yes.
uh, compete in
Ah.
judiciary
Hmm.
exam.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Initially, I was also a student of judiciary. Then I
Okay. So
started
same. High five.
practicing.
High five. Yes.
Then I started practicing in District and Sessions Court, Ludhiana.
Okay. Okay.
Now I joined corporate sector and
Hmm.
uh, handling MSCT cases.
Okay. Yes.
So don't you think that IAS officers must also be given such mandate that after completing their graduation, they must do some internships with some social organizations or NGOs, etc. Why not the Supreme Court has given the mandate to IAS, UPS aspirants, UPSC
Yes.
aspirants? Why to us
Yes.
only?
Okay. Okay. Let I see. I'll make you understand this in very simple terms. Okay. I'm understanding what you're trying to say. That was my own question also. When I was actually, navigating to the court. In the morning, I went from my home to the court. Then in the, while I was, having my journey of reaching the court, I got a call from a fellow colleague of mine. She's also, doing this. She was also, actually into the judiciary. She was preparing for a lot of, like 2 3 years. She called me. She told me, this happened. Actually, this judgment came. The first question mine also was the same, exact similar. That why for us only? Why not for UPSC aspirant? Why not for them? Why for us? Why they are making this difficult for us? They are demanding us to do this rigorous 5 year course. Then they want us to do Euro 3 years practice. Then after 3 years, why will anyone be interested in pursuing this judiciary course? See the basics of this. I'm not going to give you that civilized answer that every lawyer, if and but lawyer, gives you, that nobody knows. They become judges and they don't know the law. It does not happen. Once a person clears the UPPCS or any kind of PCSG exams, they have a rigorous training of a year. Then they have to work under a district judge for another year. In those 2 years, they understand everything, every type of draft, every type of thing that they need to understand. They type of understand it. So a lot of people, they'll give you this basic basic reason that this is because of this only they are Supreme Court, they have given this mandate. But the other cause that I have understood is, the other cause is that a lot of students, they, after they, firstly and the foremost thing is that they had no legal background, including me. I am a first generation practicing lawyer. I have no legal background as such. A lot of students, they have started pursuing this law. They have started pursuing BLLB honors. They are doing this 5 year course. They have zero legal background. Then after doing this course, they start competing for judiciary. As the vacancies are less, the vacancies, there are no integrated formula for vacancies. There is no set procedure. Every year vacancy will come up. So those students, it was, as far as this is my own, these are my own views. They may be wrong, they may be right, but these are my views, that the Supreme Court basic reasoning, they have not given it explicitly, but I think the basic reasoning behind them was for the students. If after graduating from the law college after 5 years, they must be 23 24 years. If after they become 23 24 years, after 24 years they give 4 5 years to the judiciary profession. After 4 5 years they'll be around 28 anyway. At that point of time, I don't think they'll have any recourse. They'll have nothing to fall back on. They cannot do anything. They have no legal background. They are first generation lawyers. At age of 29, they'll have to get married. They'll have to have the responsibility of their parents and everything as such. I think these are my views. That is why I was saying that I am with that, inclined with that judgment. What this judgment will do is, for those first generation lawyers, for those first generation advocates, It will give them a legal standing. It will give them some kind of backing. In the first 3 years, if they go to the court, they do some kind of practice. Then while while practicing, I'm not saying you can do the preparation. I think it is extremely tough. But after 3 years of practice, you'll have some kind of understanding of the
Sir,
basic procedure. You'll have a
sir,
lot of
I'm interrupting you. Sir, do
please
you
please.
really think that the judicial aspirants will go to the court and start
No,
practicing? No,
no, no,
not at
no, no,
all.
no.
They
No.
sit
See,
in a
see,
room
see
and
the practice, the practical part of my thoughts are different. I know no one will do it. Believe me, the judicial aspirants who are there, not even single one will go to the court. They'll do this. But I am giving you the reasoning what I think why judiciary, why the Supreme Court has done this is for those lawyers, for those first generation lawyers who have no legal backing,
sir,
who
nobody will go.
will
Sir,
become suicidal
we Yes,
after
yes, yes,
29 years.
exactly.
They will become
Sir, what
suicidal.
the judges can do, the panel judges who will be
Hmm,
taking the interview, the
hmm,
interviewees can be trapped only when they will
hmm.
be asked the practical questions, but no judge will ask them.
I know. This is a very this field. As I am also a first generation lawyer. I completely agree with you. We all
Same here,
face these
sir.
kind of things. We all face these kind of things. But as we have ourselves only chosen this field, so we all have to move forward with whatever things are going on. But yeah, take the good part of it. I was also preparing for judiciary. I was also doing that. But yeah, it's fine. It's just life goes
Sir,
on. I think
but good
you'll have
part
to.
is the competition will be less now for us.
Absolutely, absolutely. See, find the positive side of it that the competition will be absolutely less. A lot of less people will come into this field, and mostly the advocates who are doing this for the purpose of judiciary, they'll not come. I'm telling you.
Yes.
See, from next year, the enrollment in the bar council will decrease a lot. In a lot of percentage, will decrease. Mostly people will not join this profession. It will stick to R only. What it is will stick to R only. It will
Exactly,
not become kind
exactly,
of
sir.
BTech and kind of MBA. It will not become that. So just find a good part of it. I know it is extremely tough to say. It's good. I know, like I completely understand. You are a girl. You will have a lot of responsibility, and after certain years, we are all living in India. Your parents will also have some kind of they'll expect
Exactly.
from you to get married and all. Yeah, I completely understand. It's kind of they have kind of defeated your dream altogether by giving this 3 years practice. I know. I am completely understanding this, but I can also not do anything. I can just find the good part of it and move forward. I think you should do it too, and I think yeah, it's fine. Let's just life goes on. Let's see what happens. I don't know. They are not in the mood to change it as such because day before yesterday I was seeing that they quashed the writ that was in the Supreme Court, the writ to challenge that 3 years practice, but they quashed it. It's fine. Let's move forward and let's see in a different
Sir,
perspective
it
things.
will be accepted in some years or all.
Sorry.
It will not sir, this judgment will not be continued for longer time.
I know. A lot of resistance will be
It's
there,
only
but
for the time being, because the judges
when
are also of the view that the
mm,
competition is so hard that every
mm,
person is going into judiciary and every person is trying.
I
Even
know, I know.
the person, even the panel who is checking the question papers,
Mm,
who are checking the answer sheets, they know
yes.
the level of students, and they are not able to uh, differentiate to
Mm,
whom to give good marks or whom to give
I
less
know.
marks. That's
Absolutely.
why they
And
have chosen this criteria of 3 years. What I think is that.
could be a reason, could be a reason, but I think that it is positive only so that if a first generation advocate will practice for 3 years and then they'll give a judiciary exam, at least if they are not in any way not able to clear the exam, then they'll have something to fall back on. They can fall back on their practice. They can start earning some money. They'll not have to keep taking the money from their parents. But I think it's fine. It's just it's. I think it's very hard, but I cannot say anything much about it. We can't do anything much about it. We are not anywhere near that. We don't have that kind of power. But yeah, it's fine. Life goes on. Let's see what happens. Let's see in the coming years what will be the mandate in Supreme Court, and we'll see what happens. Okay. So now, as it is quite late, also I'm kind of ending this class. It was lovely to interact with you guys. You're quite of interactive. I want you to keep this interactive, pace with other faculty as well. And then I'll soon join you guys again for any specific kind of draft that I'll teach you. Okay. So have a great evening. And right now I'm in